Hello, I am Mike Bedard with Cinema Singularity, speaking today with Tamra Davis, the director for many amazing music videos, as well as movies like Billy Madison and Half Baked, and she has a new film here at the Sundance Film Festival with The Best Summer. So how are you doing today, Tamra?
I'm really good. Thank you so much.
We were kind of talking about it off camera, but do you mind just talking about witnessing the premiere of Best Summer here and just the audience reaction to it?
It was so fun. I mean, it's the first time that I've seen the movie in a theater with an audience, people that I don't know. It was so fun for me to see the movie in a theater, first time, big, and that's all I wanted. Like, I wanted to see the Beastie Boys like in this like larger than life, because that's the way I shot it. Is they look larger than life. So I wanted to see it, and also see it with people that I don't know, because that's how I tested it. It was with just people that I knew, or or friends of friends. So it was really fun to just see it in a theater with just unknown people and see how they reacted.
So, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, The Best Summer is a documentary following the Summersault Music Festival in 1995, a little indie festival. Uh, how did the idea come about to put together this documentary with the footage you had all those years ago?
Well, kind of, I found the footage during a fire. We were evacuating from Malibu, and I was moving boxes now for the third time because we've had like so much fire in Malibu lately. And then I was like, what is in all these boxes that I'm like, toting around everywhere? And some of them were on this hiatus, and I saw like Summersault, and I had to buy the camera to look at the footage because it's on hiatus, and you can't just like look at it. And all of a sudden, I just looked at this little window on my video camera, and I was like, oh my god, this footage is just beautiful. And yeah, Hollywood has just been in a strange rut, and I was like, I'm just a filmmaker. I'm going to take this footage and I'm going to do it myself, and I'm just going to cut a movie together.
So, back in the 90s, when you were filming all the things, going on tour with Beastie Boys and Foo Fighters, Sonic Youth, all these great bands, was there a plan to make a doc back in the day, or is it just I'm just going to film stuff and just so I can have it?
There was no plan for sure. It was basically, I had just finished filming Billy Madison. Mike and I got married maybe a year earlier. And so, if your husband's in a band, you have to like be on the road with them if you want to see them. So I went on the road with them, and because I identify as a filmmaker, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to bring my cameras. So it gives me something to do while I'm on the road. And, I'm always like, well, the Beastie Boys could probably use old, footage some days and some of their stuff. So I just filmed, and then I don't know, I just feel like as a fan, I was just filming the concert footage. And then I was hanging out with Kathleen Hanna, who was a friend, and we had a lot of free time because her band opened up, and then I'm just hanging out. So we were like these kind of funny girls that just had a project, and we were like, let's just go do interviews. We found some other people were doing interviews, and we thought we could do so much better than that. Let's go do it. And I think it was just like that thing that you do with a girlfriend to have fun. I had no plan to make a movie out of it, not at all.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you're going through these hiates. What was the video and audio quality of them? Was there anything that was unsalvageable, or what was the salvage? Was there anything you had to salvage and were amazed you could?
Well, it was interesting because it's all just shot with my Sony Handycam Hi8 camera. So all the sound is from that, whatever, the Omni mic thing. And I was amazed that the concert footage sounded so good. And I realized it was because in the old days, they had monitors on the stage. And I would just be bold enough to stand on stage. I'm a girl, so I just hide kind of in the corner, and I'm small, and I just was on stage, and I got this incredible sound. Nowadays, you could never get that sound even from front of stage or side of stage because the band's all wearing inner monitors. So it doesn't sound good when you're standing there. So that part, my audio from the music was good, but I didn't have any microphones. So it's all shot like this. And the backstage, all that sound was really crazy. Like you could hardly hear Thurston, or you could hardly hear Dave or Kim. But I had just done a documentary, and I worked with this amazing sound guy, Patrick Kersley, and I gave it to him, and a few days later, he gave it back to me, and I was like, what the, you heard, as if I mic'd everybody, and you hear the sound now. It was so clean that I had to add the sound back, because I was like, no, I want people to know there's a party going on in the next room, or that the caterer guy is moving bottles behind us. I wanted you to feel what it's like to be in those rooms.
So 30 years after all this footage is taking, and now like putting together the documentary, was there ever any issues with like music licensing, or is it everyone, all the bands, just down to like,
I
or
mean,
to
we're
just
still dealing with it, but it's like it's one thing for festivals. So
yeah,
right now that was like what I needed to do is just get festival rights. And so the great thing is that I had to show it to every band member. So I got all the bands approvals, and I'm so grateful that I have relationships with the bands that I could get to them in like a week's notice, because I
yeah.
got into Sundance and it was like, oh my God, like I got to make sure I can use this music. And I think that what happened was the spirit of the film is everybody was so happy to be part of this movement and part of this community that everyone was like, we love this film and they want me to make this movie. So they all came on as most favored nations, and that'll continue to the distribution, theatric, whatever happens, if I sell it. But yeah, everybody's come on with the community. We're all part of it, and they're so grateful that I was able to capture this moment.
It feels like such a neat time capsule because today with like social media, I mean,
Yeah.
so many bands can like post videos of what they're up to backstage, but it winds up kind of feeling like rehearsed. Whereas I imagine, just side note, as of this interview, I have not seen it yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. But
You're gonna freak out. It's so crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
such a huge fan of. I
yeah,
mean, I've been a
yeah.
Beasties fan for decades, and Foo Fighters, and Sonic Youth. So I mean,
You're gonna
when
lose
I
it.
saw this on the lineup, I
Yeah,
was
you're
like
gonna be like,
freaking out.
what? Yeah.
But it feels rehearsed, or like they're trying to like promote the brands. But like, do you think this is something that could only exist like in the 90s or pre-social media, where you get this authentic look at
Yeah,
the
nobody
backstage
was filming
lives?
back then, so you didn't have that. And yeah, and I think the other thing I did when I did the interviews, I shot them, and then in the movie, I don't cut. So when Dave's talking, it's very intimate, and there's no like, oh, what a great sound bite. He said something great, and then I cut. No, you see his thoughts, you see him pause, you see him react. It's like it's of that moment, so you feel like you're in the room with them, and it's so pure and beautiful. And I was like, no, we're not cutting the interviews. It's as is. It's what he said, and sometimes it's uncomfortable, and it's great that that's the moment.
You've directed a ton of amazing music videos, and
Yay.
sadly, it feels like music videos are kind of
I
a lost
know.
art. I mean, it's more like what 15-second snippet of a song can you get trending on TikTok? I mean, what do you think like would kind of take for music videos to have
Well,
a renaissance?
sadly, I mean, I'm so happy that I was part of that generation, because as a filmmaker, it gave me an opportunity to, study my craft. Like I had learned how to work with crews, I learned how to work with artists, I learned how to work with record companies who are studios, so it gave me an opportunity to, become a filmmaker, so that when I made my first feature, I knew what I could do in a day. I was like, oh, I know how to move a camera. So I'm sad that a lot of young filmmakers are going to miss that opportunity of creativity. So that's sad. But I do have to say, like, I have a son who's currently in a band, or my two sons are in a band called Very Nice Person. When you see the movie, they scored it, but they're also the last song. So it's very, very nice. But they still have to do music videos, like even though they don't have to be big budgets, but in order to sell, to have people watch your music, you have to have a visual representation. You can't just play a song, so there still has to be a visual. It's just, but you also see, like, with kids like that, they're like FTT. They're just like, no kid that's cool now wants to be part of that. And in fact, I think there's a big backlash going on right now that most people are erasing that. So I just feel like, to me, there's a huge backlash of real young artists that they don't want to, that has to be the only way that they break through, is relying on your stupid social media and how many TikTok things that somebody else used your song in some like, that's not a way to make a musician or a movement or a collective experience. And so I just hope that bands like Geese or some, that you see like real artists coming through in a moment that are authentic, that kids really respond to. Like Geese didn't come up because they were
Yeah.
on TikTok. So I just am like, I still have hope.
You've seen a lot of artists kind of at the beginning of their careers. I mean, doing CB4 with Chris Rock or Billy Madison, kind of Adam Sandler's first like big lead role, and then even with Best Summer, like kind of being with Foo Fighters when they were starting off, or Beck. Are there any like intangible qualities you could see like back then that like this person is going or this band is going to be big or and
You know,
stable.
the weird thing is you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. The only thing you do know is I know if I love something and my passion as a fan. And then that's all that matters to me is like my thing. And I try to get you to love what I love. And that's always how I direct it. If I wouldn't, I could never do a video for a band that I didn't love. And I changed my styles because I knew I was appealing to different audiences, but I always started with like, I love that song. I love that artist. I want to collaborate with them. So I feel like that part translates. And even now, like, you know, I did the pilot for High School Musical for Disney that launched Disney Plus. Well, I saw Olivia Rodrigo sing Creep at 13 years old, and I was obsessed. I showed it to everybody, and like I pushed her to get on that show. You know, she was like a Disney artist, so they were like, she's not a lead, and I was like, I love her. I just want to hear her sing. I just love her voice. So that's like, you never know if anything's going to happen. You know, who knew that she was going to have this crazy career? But I just knew in my heart that I thought she was the most incredible. I would have done anything to hang out and work with her.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really hope
You're welcome.
Best Summer gets distributed anywhere. Is there anything else you're working on at the moment?
I wrote a book, so yeah, that comes out in spring 2027. It's there's no books written by female directors on how to direct, so I pitched it and I sold a deal, and I'm like, thank God, because yeah, so it's not just female directors, it's like anybody that's different, you know, or whatever, anybody that wants to be creative leader and how to do that. So yeah, I've been working on that. Yeah, and I have like a bunch of movies in the thing, but it's like I was like, I want to get in front of the camera. I mean, not in front. I want to get behind the camera, and I'm like, I want to still keep making movies, and so that's why I was like, so happy to have this to get out there.